Hello families, welcome back to our second video. So today we are going to be working on 4-2, which is continuing to add two-digit numbers using models. In the last video, we used a hundreds chart, we used some tens rods and some unit cubes to talk about place value and to add our numbers. Well, today we're going to do the same thing, talk about place value to add our numbers, but we are going to draw our tens, rods, and unit cubes instead. And then I'm going to give you another way on top of that to show you how to do the same thing. So if you don't have tens, rods, unit cubes, you can draw them just as easily as going on to the site that I mentioned in the last video, which I will still post down below, didax.com, for the virtual manipulatives. So let's go ahead and get started. So our first problem here says for us to find 12 plus 23. So again, if we are looking at place value, just to go ahead and recap, the number 12 has 1 10 and 2 ones. The number 23 has 2 10s and 3 ones. So to add that together, to see how we compose the number 12, 1 10 equals 10, 2 ones equals 2. When we add 10 plus 2, we get 12. If we look at 23, 2 10s equals 20, 3 ones equals 3. And if we add 20 plus 3 together, we are going to get the answer of 23. So now that we've used place value to decompose or separate our numbers, let's go ahead and start working on the problem. So the first way I'm going to show you is very similar to how we used our tens, rods, and unit cubes. We're just going to draw them instead. So first we're going to represent 12. Our tens, rods are going to be represented by one line, and our unit cubes are going to be represented by a square. So let's go ahead and draw 12. As we already mentioned, 12 has 1 10 and 2 ones. Then the number 23 has 2 10s and 3 ones. So our goal is to put all of our 10s on one side and all of our 1s on one side. So I'm going to draw a line here just to separate, to show that we're going to put our 10s on one side and our 1s on the other side. So all together, if we look at our 10s, we have 1 10, 2 10, 3 10s. So we're going to bring that down here to the bottom, and we are going to write our 3 10s, or draw our 3 10s, I should say. Now we need to look at our 1s. Together we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. So I'm going to draw those down here together. It's 3, 4, and 5. Now if I combine these numbers by looking at place value, first I'm going to look at the value of these numbers. So 3 10s equals 30. We can do that by either counting 1 10, 2 10, or 3 10s, or count by 10s, 10, 20, 30. And our 1s, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we combine our numbers together, we have 30 plus 5. And if we count everything, it should come up to 35. Let's check. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. So our answer is 35. Alrighty. Okay, we are going to move on to our next problem. I'm going to show you a different way to use place value to solve an equation. This time I want us to look at 18 plus 42. This time, instead of using tens, rods, and unit cubes to represent our numbers, we are going to write it out in word form. So we are going to look at the number 18. As we talked about place value, we know that number 18 has 1 10 and 8 ones. The number 42 has 4 10s and 2 ones. So we're going to write it out exactly like that. So I'm going to write 1 10, 8 ones, plus we have 4 10s and 2 ones. And we are going to add these together. And if we add our 8 ones to our 2 ones, we would have 10 ones because 8 plus 2 is 10. So I'm going to write 10 ones. And now if we add our tens together, I would have 1 10 plus 4 tens equals 5 tens. So now we see that we have 10 ones. Remember what we talked about in the last video? We talked about regrouping. This is one of those instances where we would regroup because if we have 10 or more unit cubes, we need to regroup that to a 10 because remember there are 10 unit cubes in one tens rod. So we have 10, so we have enough to go ahead and regroup. So I'm going to write here that we know 10 ones equals 10. I want to write that out so we can make sure we know that 10 ones equals 110. Okay, so now we have 5 tens plus our 110 equals 6 tens. And if we go ahead and count everything together, if we're counting by tens, we know that 6 tens equals 60. So we are going to write here at our very bottom, 6 tens equals 60. So our answer is going to be 60. Alrighty. So I hope you can see that. I'm going to move it up and down just a little bit so I can try to get all of it in the screen. So I hope that one of those versions help you. Again, so now we've seen 3 different ways to represent place value and add numbers. So again, as I said in the other video, please make sure that you watch it, pause, rewind, stop as many times as you need to because these videos are here for that very reason. I realize though in the comment section that they are turned off and that is a YouTube thing. That is nothing I can control. So if you do have any comments or questions, please make sure you just contact me on Dojo and I'll respond to you there. But keep looking forward to our next videos. We have another one coming up soon. Also, go ahead and make sure you subscribe so that you know when a new video is coming out. So I will see you in our next video, guys. Bye.